Welcome back to another video. Today is not so much a story time of me getting a game winner scored on me or me getting dunked on. Today it is 5 things I wish I knew before I came to the UK. We're gonna kick this video off, but first, make sure everybody likes, comments, and subscribes. Even if you don't like the video, leave a comment about how much you hated it. But let's get into the video now. Let's go. Number one, the weather. So the rumors are mostly true about England and its weather. You might hear that it's gray, raining, and even depressing. And if I would be lying to you if I said it wasn't like that. But it isn't like that every single day. That is an exaggeration. First thing is, it is very, very rainy, especially in the fall months when you get the UK weather memes. That's when it is the most gray and it's the most rainy. For example, let me put this on screen right now. Yes, that is a storm moving through. And it was 44 degrees, but it felt like 29. And I wore a sweatshirt and a baseball cap to class because I thought it was 50 degrees, but it felt like below freezing. But one thing I can give the UK a little bit of grace about is that it doesn't snow as much as you think it does here. You would think since it's cold and wet all the time, it would be snowing a lot, but in the wintertime, the grayness doesn't calm down, but the precipitation does calm down. Last year when I was here, we only got snowfall once, and it was about 3 inches. So don't expect much snow. And also, me being from Virginia, 75 is not hot to me. But over here, since it doesn't get 75 all the time, or 20 degrees Celsius, I'll put it on the screen, it's very warm to them, but it's not exactly warm in my terms. Next, we have the time changes or time differences. Now, I haven't been here in the summer months, so I can only go off of what my friends told me. But in the summer months, they have told me that the sun goes down around 11 p.m. That's when it's totally dark, 11, compared to Virginia, when in the summer, even on the solstice, the sun's down and it's dark by 9:30. I might not be able to speak for summer, but I can speak for winter and say that the sun starts to go down. It's about halfway down the horizon around 2:30, 2:45, and for the most part, it's dark by 4:30. It's completely dark. But this is a little bit tricky because the second it hits around late March, the sun will go down at 3:30 and the next day it'll go down at 5. And April time is when the sun starts to come up around 5 a.m. as well. So if you're not an early morning person and you sleep with your blinds open, I suggest you put them down whenever you get over here. The next thing that I could say I probably miss the most about being in the States is something that we take for granted, and that thing is air conditioning, central air. Air conditioning is really a US commodity that we take for granted a lot, and you miss it a lot when you're gone. Because my first spring over here, oh boy did I miss it, because the inside of buildings are made to keep heat in, and they do get pretty unbearably warm in the spring months, and I couldn't imagine in the summer how unbearably warm it is inside the buildings. This is not to say that there's not air conditioning in the whole entire country. It's just not as widespread as it is back in America. For example, my university, there's no air conditioning in the classrooms. My high school, middle school, elementary school all had air conditioning, but it's just because it's a cooler climate over here and there's no need for it because it doesn't get as hot as regularly. My second to last point, and honestly the one that probably hit me the most, is the cultural differences between the United States and the United Kingdom. The thing that will shock you about the UK whenever you get over here, or if you're coming over here even to visit, there is a lot of different accents. Even towns that are like right next to each other have different accents. And you would think, since the UK is just not a small island, but it's not big compared to like Texas, let's say, the accents are just so different, and it's so crazy to hear it in person. For example, the town I'm in, Derby, or city that I'm in, Derby, has a completely different accent from the Birmingham accent, which, if you're back in the States and you're kind of tapped in with British culture, you might have heard it a time or two. But they're not that far. It's like a hour car ride, 40 miles away. It's not far at all, and the accents sound like they come from two different parts of the world. Another thing that shocked me is that people aren't really that friendly to strangers over here. Me being from the somewhat south of Virginia, everybody's pretty respectful to each other. You walk by somebody, you say, "How you doing?" You hold the door for somebody, "Oh, thank you." You go up to the cash register, "Hey, how you doing? How's your day been?" Whatever. They don't really do that over here. And it was a shock to me because when I did it, they just kind of look at you like, "Oh, you're asking how my day is? What?" Or this happened the other day, you just get completely ignored because people are like, "Why are you asking about my day?" But that's not as bad as the traditional British food. I had to say it. I personally don't like it. The people over here swear by it. Food is subjective, right? But it's just not for me. The beans and toast, Yorkshire pudding, that's just not for me. But the roast dinners I got from Toby Carvery was actually pretty solid. That was pretty good. And the last cultural difference I would say is that if you're American, they can spot you out in a crowd, especially in a crowd of British people, just by the way they dress. Their just everyday casual is very different from our everyday casual. Their everyday casual, for example, a 9 a.m. class, is jeans, a nice button up shirt, a nice jacket, maybe some somewhat dress shoes. My casual, or basically my everyday for class, sweatpants, some tennis shoes, a t shirt, and my backpack. That's all I need. And the final thing I wish I knew before moving to the UK is that a lot of people are going to be living through you. And that's not a bad thing because not everybody has the opportunity that I was given, and I'm very grateful and blessed for that opportunity. Me, I'm always taking pictures of everything that looks different. If it's just a car passing by, the stinking telephone booths, or if it's even a staircase, or the building I go to school in, whatever it is, I'm taking pictures of it. I'm sending it back home to my people, posting them, not for everybody to see, but just for me to see, just for my friends to see, because not everybody has the chance to do this. It's so cool, right? And you always have to make the most of the situation that you're in. Meet a lot of people, make a lot of connections, and most importantly, have fun. You're in a different country. You can't not be having fun. You gotta have a blast. Well, folks, that was 5 things I wish I knew before coming to the UK. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and again, please like, or comment, or subscribe, or if you're feeling generous, do all 3, be my guest. And even if you didn't like the video, say you hated the video in the comments. It'll let me know what I need to do better. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video for real. Thank you guys for watching, and see you on the next one. Peace.